focus.
Yes, sir. What's going on? This is Focus from the Flow Mo crew. BBoyDojo.com and Cypher Studio over here chilling. Big week. This is the Olympic week. It just hit me yesterday. We did a podcast with all of the breaking podcasters out there through Pro for One's channel and streamed it for the dojo too. And I'm like, oh, okay, the tension is building up, the electricity is in the air, and the audiences are growing. So been following everybody, all the people who are taking part in the big games in the Olympics Friday and Saturday, and their Instagram is banging with chilling with LeBron James, chilling with Snoop Dogg, and all these big guys. And seems like the recognition is definitely there. All right. We're going to discuss that slightly today with one of our guests. The guest today is Lavall Chichester, BBoy Brisk, who's a dear friend of mine from way back in the days, 20 years back and all the way till the day. We've been through a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to kick it live over here. A person I'm really inspired by his motivation and work ethic and his grind ability. So let's see what's happening. Let's get Brisk over here on the line and let's go. New York City in the house.
What's
up,
up,
Lavall? How's it going?
I'm chilling, man.
How's New York?
Thank you for having me. New York is New York, man. It's the best place in the world, in my opinion. And the home of hip hop, and breaking. So
the Mecca. Yeah. What makes it the best place in the world right now for you? Because a lot of people say it's crazy, it's wild, it's expensive. There's ups and downs. There's good and the bad side. Why is it the best place in the world?
Yeah, they say you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And New York, like I grew up in Brooklyn in the early '90s, and you came through. I got stabbed a couple of times, and like all of the things I've been through. You drop me anywhere, I could probably survive and thrive. And even now, like New York is tame compared to what it used to be. And it's just a beautiful city with food and people and different ideas, and it's vibrant. And I just absolutely love it.
Wow. Yeah, it feels like it calmed down a lot. Even when we came 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, it was still a little bit wild. Of course, not what it used to be. It was still calmed down quite a lot. But now if I go to New York, I'm like, this is one of the safest cities in the world, isn't it? Do you feel that?
Absolutely. You go post-pandemic had some issues with homelessness and all that. But then obviously if you go certain places you shouldn't go, you'll and that's any place, any country, any city is like that. So like for the most, it's very safe. So I love it.
Good, man. Always get super inspired when I get a chance to visit the home of hip hop, and just the vibe in the buildings and the streets and people driving their cars with music banging loud, and the way people talk, the way people act. It's like hip hop is in the DNA. There's a reason why hip hop is what it is, and New York is that reason right there. Yeah, man.
Even the walk, like, I see this guy walking on it, like this dude is so hip hop,
man. Yes, sir. Good. For the people who don't know about Lavall or BBoy Brisk, take me back to how did you get into hip hop and what made Brisk the B-boy it is?
Yeah, so I'm Brisk, BBoy Brisk, also known as Beast the Scientist. My crew grew up in Brooklyn. My crew was Foot Clan, but I was also part of Full Circle. So shout out to Quick Step and Rockefeller. I used to run around at the time when Brick's crew was popping. So shout out to Whack, Nemesis, those guys. And I got inspired. Me and my boy Pax Prime, we were trying to rollerblade, and we didn't have the heart to jump down the rails. And we were watching these skating videos, and we saw B-Boy Ivan do Munch Mills. And then we're like, we're going to do that. We were like, forget about rollerblading, bro. We're going to do that. Whatever that is. And then, I kid you not, we stayed up all night. We found a fridge box. And then we went online. Like, how do you breakdance? And there's like nothing. Like, so we went online. We found like one page that talked about the 6-step. And then we did that wrong for many years. And like, long story short, you find the community, you start practicing, you get better and better and better. We have to unlearn. I had to unlearn a lot of bad habits. But then, I got nasty, man. I was ripping power. I'd show up to jams. I remember Nemesis is like, "Yo, Brisk, why are you always angry at these jams?" I'm like, "I'm not angry. I came here to battle, bro. I came here to test my skill, not to smile and hug. Like I'm here, bro. Let's go." And that's the attitude, and it's because I come from the karate school. I grew up doing martial arts. I have a second-degree black belt, and I'm a bare knuckle karate champion. But it was that attitude that I always had, right? So my sensei would bring us to other dojos, and I'd mop up those students. And so why wouldn't that attitude come through in my dance, right? And then I met you because Red Bull had that first Beat Rider Academy thing. I submitted a video to make it. They picked me, and then that's how we became friends and all that. And I got injured. That's why I stopped dancing. Like I didn't know anything about physical therapy, and I think it was at City versus City. I was there with Brisk's crew and then just the New York contingent to battle, and like my shoulder just wouldn't work. And long story short, I didn't listen to my body, and I literally couldn't lift my shoulder. And it broke my heart because I was like, yo, if I can't air flare night, if I can't do this, man, I'm just gonna stop. And I put all that energy into my first company, Footnote Films, at the time. And then I started filming all the dances. I filmed everything in New York in the early '90s. And yeah, so that's my history.
Ooh, wow. Okay,
If
maybe you still have some of
B-Girl
that
Candy,
archive, some unreleased
yeah,
footage over there.
I saw that you interviewed B-Girl Candy. Candy knows about me. Anyone that's in New York knows what's up. And T-Rock too. Shout out to T-Rock. That's my boy too.
Dope. A few things. It always comes down to full circle somehow.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's funny when we're having lunch with Storm in Germany, in Berlin. Yeah, because Quick would always tell me stories about him, and yeah, it was just cool, man. And the thing about what I love about what you're doing, what we're doing with BBoy Dojo is when I was trying to learn, even I was ripping power by the time I met Quick and Rockefeller in Full Circle, right? And I remember being in a crowded ass room, like no one knew me, so I'd show up to this practice, and I was just ripping, I was just doing my thing, right? And then Rockefeller's like, "Yo, my name is Rockefeller. I know, like, you come hang with us. I know what it feels like to be lonely in a crowded room." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's gangster, bro!" Like, because even at that time, b-boys like they weren't really welcoming. You know what I mean? Like it's a chip on the shoulder, all that kind of stuff. Especially if they were known. So I was like, "Yo, I have no idea who this is." And then Quick like really showed me, like, if Quick trains you, you nasty. You like your level goes up. Because like I saw him, he Mach 3s under Quick. After with Quick, I learned headspin. I learned how to headspin control it. I learned trap, all the things, and it gave me the ability to transition, right? So I could always air flare 90, that kind of thing. But I was always weak on like side and up the head, right? And we'll talk about Rock's Wright's course. That's why I think his course is amazing. So, but what Quick helped me do is gain that sort of control halo at the halo level, and then on the head level. So then when it came time for me to do flare, like air flare, halo, boom, I was catching them, and then air flare, head spin, I was easily catching them because I learned the dynamics. Don't get easy. Like I just knocked myself out a couple of times learning it, but like, and that's because of Quick, right? He knew how to train people in a very martial way, if you'd like.
yeah, it's that rep, yeah. And I guess Footnote Films was already on since we met at the camp, because I saw your application video. It was on point. Nice edits, quick cuts, all that stuff, a storyline, voiceover and stuff. Like my application for the Beat Writers camp was simply 2 VCR players and recording a few rounds in one event. That was my
Yeah.
application. That's it. And that got me in, so that was cool. But I saw yours. It's like, okay, this guy got some skills beyond the dance floor as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I think I was probably in college at the time, and I wanted to be a novelist, right? Write books, right? That's why they call me Beast the Scientist. Beast is a scientist from X-Men, like, flipping and stuff. So for me, I was like, man, I'm learning how to write, right? So then I was like, oh, how about if I learn how to create video. So I picked up Final Cut Pro for Dummies, which is a video editing software, and I taught myself how to edit. And then it was the B-boys that like I got my first chance editing, but that was my first like major thing I put together after learning how to edit. And then then people are like, "Oh, you're good. Can you cut my video up?" So I started doing different videos for the thing for different B-boys. And it was funny about this is like I submitted my story. I already got picked. The day before like submission was due, Pax, Eddie, he comes like, "Yo, bro, there's this Red Bull thing. Can you make me a video?" I'm like, "Bro, I already submitted my video 2 weeks ago." I'm like, "Yo, it's due date. Like this shit is due tomorrow, bro." So I stayed up all night. I did him a solid. I put together a video, and he got accepted too, man.
Wow. Yeah, I shared a room with him, so I remember.
Oh yeah.
And that happened over here too. I remember pitching the idea to B-boy Atta as well. I'm like, "Yeah, there's this camp. You should apply. It's gonna be dope." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever." Then he didn't submit it. I submitted mine and got in. So he got pissed at me, like, "Yo, you didn't tell me." I'm like, "Yo, I gave you a heads up. You should have done your thing." And I got the spot, so that was cool. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's it. Bro. People, you can't force people to listen to your wisdom,
That's what's up. Yeah. And I remember being with you on the camp, training power, and you introduce yourself like, "Yeah, I'm the Rocksteady Killer." I'm like, "Oh, for real?"
Yeah, because I was active.
And that time, yes, sir. So that time, yes, Lex, Irvin came in. Big O Wendy was there as well. Maybe some others from the Rocksteady as well. So once Lex did his lecture, I see in the corner, it's like, okay, Brisk is battling. So calling out Irvin, calling out all these guys, and living up to the name. So you did your thing.
Yeah. So
for being a battle cat as well. Yep.
Yeah, like I told you, I was about it, and like for me, like B-boy world, we chat on the dojo, and it came from I have beef with no one, right? But Legs had beef with Quickstep and Rock, and something happened on the forums, you know what I mean? Keyword, people keyword heroes, and so something happened. And I was like, "All right, cool. When I see you, it's on, bro." And again, mind you, at this time I already got stabbed. I was in Brooklyn. I was fighting all the time. So for me, the dance battle was like, whatever, let's do this. So when he came in, I was like, "Yo, this dude thinks I'm gonna let him leave. No way, bro. It's on site because it's on site. Like, but it's all respect, though, right? Like, I wouldn't go pop off at Legs, like, because Sensei bring the student, I'm a catch Irving. That's just how it is, right? So it's still respect, right? So yeah, that's what happened. They leave, and I was like, "Yo, Ed, yo, Pax, I'm getting this dude." So I ran around. I was like, "Yo, what's up now?" And then there was up, and then we popped off. And then Wendy was like, "Yo, I want no drama, bro." I was like, "Yeah, it's not even that serious." But like, if they're gonna talk about, "Yo, I'm coming for you," I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll see you when you come." And don't walk out because they were trying to leave. I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm here." Yeah,
It's on.
So, yeah, exactly. So
perfect. Yeah. And ever since getting some injuries and stuff, moving on to other things in life, applying that discipline, applying the skills that you learned from breaking and karate as well, you became pretty damn successful in the business world as well. Tell me about the next steps after the Beat Riders camp and breaking.
Yeah, so I got injured, and I was self-taught. Right? I taught myself how to read, and the karate school taught me actually how to learn. Right, when you actually want to acquire a new skill, you pick the skill, you find a sensei or expert at the skill. Mine was quick step and head spin and all that. So then just practice the skill. Like nowadays, the kids don't know how to actually practice, or even back then, they go to the gym and do all sorts of stuff. They're not like when I was b-boying. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I'd do like 50 to 100 flares. And then, or whatever the move I was practicing. So maybe one day it was flares. Then Monday would be flares. Wednesday would be mills. And then I'd do a week of combos, flare, windmill, flare. And I would just run that shit. And so that's how I learned how to fight, right? There's videos online of me knocking dudes out like bigger than me because I learned how to learn, right? And so you put that into marketing, right? What I do now, and because I always had my own company chasing a paycheck, when I got into advertising, I ran circles around the people in advertising because I was self-taught, so I could build websites, optimize them, and this is what I do to this day for my own company and the dojo and all the companies I own. And it was just that work ethic, and like I was just always going and grinding and trying to outdo anyone, and that was it, and that made me. I helped the company I was working for, blow up and get sold to a huge holding company that put me on Ad Age's 40 Under 40, which is like our trade magazine. And yeah, and then I've done a bunch of other stuff there, and now we're here.
That's so dope. That battle mentality can be applied to everything else as well. Like if you're in it,
Right.
you win it. You're in it to win it, and you push and grind until you make it. Uh,
Absolutely.
why is SEO something that inspires you?
Yeah, I think SEO, search engine optimization, and what it is, it's helping. It's like optimizing a website for what people are looking for, right? So on Google, most keywords have a search volume. Like how to break has like 1,000 monthly searches. So the goal is to create a page that you could optimize to rank for it. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I'm just very good at it. And so because I'm good at it, I could apply it to all the businesses, like to the dojo. Like I just looked at the stats today. Like website traffic is up like 500%. This is madness. Yeah, it's crazy. So and that's what I plan. It's not easy. You have to be like obsessive, like really extreme about it. And I'm very extreme, and that's just what makes me good at these kind of things, right? It's like, again, it's that battle mentality, and yeah, and so that's what I've been doing for my career, and also using like my skills for good, right? Like I believe in spreading love. This is what I love about the b-boy community, the breaking community, is like everyone is like a global community, but like you'd fly to my house. I didn't know you from anything. I met you. You're like, yo, I'm gonna bring my whole crew to stay at your house. Is that all cool? Hell yeah, bro. Like just show up, bro. Like I don't know who you are. I met B-boy T-Rock is my boy. Yo. Like that's my dude. And I met him randomly at some jam in like Chicago or wherever we were, or it might have been in LA. And he was like, yo, can I come stay at your house? Sure. And he can't, but he drove like 5 people, 2 Greek girls who are my loves to this
Whoa.
day, and some Nigel, this dude Nigel from Chicago, dude, wow, yo, our cast of characters, they drove to my house. I don't know any of these dudes, and bro, the bunk beds, like we were all just sleeping wherever. We gave the girls the room, and I think we were just piled on the floor, and like it was on. And then T-Rock and I have been homies ever since. Like, and he talks the most shit, which I love. Like, don't try and talk crap with T-Rock. He'll fold you up. But he also helped me with my air flares and stuff like that. But like I love the community, and so I built a site called Spread Love, right, where we're helping heal the world. So you could send hope and anonymous. You could send a message of hope and love via anonymous emails, right? So, but we're targeting words like "Are women evil? Are Muslims evil?" and writing content to rank for that in the search engines. So when people find it, because people will find that stuff and actually murder people in real life on some hate stuff, right? So we're using our skills for good. And I'll tell this story. Advertise, like, stress will kill you, right? And I was breaking up with my ex, and I had this big advertising job. I had my first panic attack, and I looked to see if the train was coming. I pass out, fall headfirst into the train tracks, crack my head, break my leg. I was left for dead, bro, like dead, right? And this is why I say the universe will take care of you. A random dude pulled me off the train tracks and put me on the stairs. And when I came to, he was standing over me, and I was like, yo, back up, bro. And he was like, yo, you fell into the train tracks. I just pulled you off. And I was like, yeah, hell no. I was like, you didn't pull. Well, you pulled me off because I like twice his size. So I get up to go move, and my leg buckles. like searing pain. So I sit back down. I was like, oh, maybe this dude is right. Something's wrong. Long story short, this dude was a DJ. He put his bag down, right? Pulled me off the train track, Second Ave on Second Avenue F stop, right in Manhattan. Yeah, I go to hospital. I go home, right? Still beefing with my ex, and I get a call, and it's DJ DP1, who's my brother, and I'm like, yo, but at this point, I haven't talked to DP in years, so I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? He's like, yo, Brisk, you good? I'm like, yeah, and he was like, yo, my friend said he pulled the Lavall Chichester off the train tracks. I was like, yo, that was your boy? I was like, yo, your boy saved my life. And like, if you know anything about DP1, he spreads the most love, right? And so what I'm saying is this community, he's a B-boy, he's a DJ, and I used to practice with him and all that, but like, he's also full circle. But my point is that a random dude, his buddy, pulled me off the train tracks when I was left for dead. You know, so, you know, for the precious time, and that's the second time I almost died. When I got stabbed, I was, you know, almost dead. But for the remaining time on this universe, I'm just spreading love, bro. I'm using my skills for good. With the dojo, we're getting people in shape, teaching them how to dance. Like, we're training the next Olympic athletes, and that's it, man. Like, time is too short to be wasting it.
That's wild. In a city size of New York, that happens, and it's a small circle anyhow. If it's, I don't know, 8 million people, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody, and suddenly, boom, it's all connected. That's wild. Happy to have you still with us. What about the other things besides spread love, growth skills, flavor fix? There's a lot of cool things going on.
Yeah, so Growth Skills is my agency. We do growth marketing, and you know, we work for like some huge clients, right? So anything from banks to cannabis clients to crypto companies. So we help them grow. It's my full-time business. I run Flavor Fix. So Flavor Fix is also, it's a separate company. It's the first media platform that we built. It's kind of like, it's a combination of Yelp and Etsy to cater to people who care about cannabis, CBD, and alcohol. So cannabis is now legal in New York and in many states. And you know, growing up, and people love weed and wine, they love cocktails and cannabis. And in doing my research, I found that that there's leaf lead and weed maps out there in the world, but a big pharmaceutical company gave us money to try and promote their CBD brand, and I couldn't do it. And I was like, I got the skills to build something better than what's out there now. And we did it, and we won a bunch of awards. I made like a crazy amount of money on it, and we're keep growing it, right? So that's Growth Skills, Flavor Fix, and Spread Love. And you know, I'm trying to keep it at that because it's a lot going on. So.
And on top of that, we work together with the dojo to try to bring it to another level. You are responsible for our SEO and taking care of marketing, and also fixing up some partnerships with, for example, the Hip Hop Museum that's coming up. That's wild. There's going to be a physical hip hop museum in the Bronx, and we are going to work together as well. Can you tell a little bit about that kind of thing? What do you expect from that?
Yeah. So you know, the museum is our client, and for my Growth Skills client, and it's like an incredible thing that they're building the Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx, and it's going to be like this cultural center that really drives change in the world. Because, so for example, last year when hip hop turned 50, the city of New York invested like $5 million. Chuck Schumer invested, all these people, Microsoft invested a ton of money, but the events were fire, bro. Like, I went to the Drip fashion show that they threw. The mayor was there. Like, what's this guy's name? Dapper Dan was there. Like, Fat Joe was there. It was fire, bro. Like, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? But when this museum is actually built, it's so beautiful. Like, I've seen the renderings. So my point there is that it's gonna be a venue for breaking. Like, right? So our goal. So you know, they're my client, and I'm working with BBoy Dojo. So for me, it's like, yo, we need to make a deal where we help the museum generate donations by creating a landing page. And if anyone signs up through this page on the museum site and on our site, we're going to give, the dojo will give a portion of that revenue to the museum as donations, right? And so that, you know, and it's just a creative thing that no one's doing and no one has the capability to do but us, right? So it's pretty cool. And then like the museum is hip hop, right? And breaking is a part of hip hop, right? Why not? Why not tap into, you know, over 1,000 students that we have in the growing community and all of that, right? So that we just got that deal done. The press release is going to go out, and like I haven't been sleeping, so like this is the week. So
Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean?
This is the week. Feel it building up. And that's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward for this thing as a way to give back to the Bronx for what they gave for the worldwide hip hop community and such. And simply that museum is gonna be crazy. The mecca of hip hop.
Mhm.
Everybody's coming there for a pilgrimage. And if there's a hip hop museum in the Bronx, that's gonna be banging, man. So
It
can't wait to
really,
visit it myself and see what it's about.
yeah, it
It'll
really
be
is.
wild.
It looks so beautiful. Like I can't even like all these other because you've got like other museums that are doing cultural things. Like PS1 had like these parties. The Brooklyn Museum has these things, but like this museum is gonna blow it out, man. Yeah, I can't wait.
Wow. Yes. What do you expect to happen after next weekend? Like you said, you get like an inside view of the world. You see the
Mhm.
trends, whatever is popping, like with when you understand SEO, when you understand Google, you see what is the direction of the world. What do you think is going to happen after next weekend as far as more companies getting involved with breaking? And how do you see the things turn out after the audiences grow next week in the Olympics?
Yeah, so I was talking to a reporter from NBC and so a couple of reporters, and I even did this last night. I was looking at it and like the trending for like breaking in the Olympics or all these breaking Paris, all that kind of stuff is popping. So people are searching already, and their minds haven't been blown. And like I see people, you know, I compare it to gymnastics. Like people are like, oh, they love gymnastics. I'm like, bro, what some of these b boys and b girls are doing now, like some of these gymnasts can't do that. Like I maybe they could attempt it and we'll get it eventually. But like there's a hitting one-handed air flips, all sorts of like spinning on. Like, come on, bro. Like when it's set to music too. When people see that, just think about how music influences TikTok and everything else, right? People do stupid dances, right, bro? When they see it, it's a wrap. And then all those videos are gonna go on the different platforms and millions and billions of views and da 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 da. And once they see a crazy move, they're gonna start searching for it. And then how do I learn how to break? Right? Same thing. Like when I saw B-Boy Ivan doing munch mills, I'm like, I'm doing that. Forget about roll like roll it like forget it. I'm doing that. And that's what's gonna happen, man, because it's just human behavior, right? And I'm really and we're prepped for it. That's what's dope, right? Like we have the battle cards that we made, you know, shout out to Mandingos and Jamal. Like it's fire. So we're ranked for all the names. We're gonna rank for and that's the game. And we'll convert that traffic into courses and revenue, and we'll give revenue to the donate revenue to the museum, and then continue to grow and fuel everything. So and from a brand standpoint, there will be you see it now. Like B-Boy Victor got all sorts of deals and stuff that's happening. They're going to need a platform to work with the community, and we're that platform, right? So I've already I got a post going out today that we'll see if people are interested on LinkedIn. But yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yay. And definitely that's so interesting that after Saturday, after Friday, that's when the reactions start. So it's not
Mhm.
going to be done on Saturday. That's when the world has changed for the next level. And we've been
Thousand
getting
percent.
ready for it for
It's
nine
all like
years. So
yeah, and the data is like you always see boom, spike, spike. Like so, the interest is like this anticipation, and they these athletes will not disappoint. So
that is what's up. Yes. What is next up for you after not sleeping the whole week, after getting everything ready and letting it roll after Saturday? What is coming up for BBoy Brisk, Lavall, except for
oh
getting your air flares back?
yeah, oh so shout out to that. I got injured, but I got my munch mills back. I got my mills back. So my hand is better now. I'm gonna get back on that grind. And like I actually used, Rockstride's course, B-Boy Pluto's course. I looked and like I love like the serratus push-ups. The thing like that's what I like people don't understand. there's all sorts of people teaching stuff online, but when you look at what, like Pluto's course, you look at that, how to do power, bro. I wish I had this, because the strength when you do a flare, if your ability to keep your body up the whole time, that's the difference between having flares where you float and you could easily get up to 90, right? So like when you flare, how you get up to 90 is literally just to push up and getting your butt up, right? It's more momentum and just little strength in your rotator cuff and serratus, right? But like, no one teaches you to train that, right? And so when I saw that, I was like, yeah, man, this is fire. So yeah, I'm gonna get all my stuff back. But I had my baby girl is 3.5. When she turned 3, we had our first breaking battle, and I loved it, man. She's so excited. And she's like, Daddy, let's break dance. Let's do it, bro. Let's break. Let's go.
Wow.
So it's like
The
fun.
question from the audience, Michelin, how did you train power moves back in the day, and what would you have done differently as far as practice? And I guess you kind of said it already. There is resources now. Back then, we would freaking go to BBoy.com and try to read the descriptions of how to do the moves, which was, of course, it was trash. Of course, you get injured if you try to do something that you have no idea about. Now there's resources, so training today is very different. You need to check out the Wina course as well. It breaks down tops on a whole new level. I got re-inspired by it, so let's make the access happen.
Yeah, and to that question, like you have to, if it's windmills you're trying to learn or flares, let's say flares, pick a time, let's say Monday morning at 8 a.m. and do 15 sets of do 3 sets of 15 flares. And just run it, relax, run it, relax, run it. Train like that, because eventually you get flares, right? It's like learning a skill is time, and then break down the moves, right? I would wear a weight vest, right? A weight vest, and then I would lean. So I do slow walk around, leaning to get my body adjusted to weight on my hand. So when you take and I'd wear a 20-pound weight vest, you could wear whatever, and this is how I'm getting my flares back. When you take it off and you do the slow motions, you're lighter. That when you add momentum, you're gonna be flying, right? So and there's tons of resources. Pluto's course is fire. So if you want it, invest in getting your skills up and make it happen.
That's wild. That karate discipline, that mentality transformed to everything. Learning your power too. Not a lot of B-boys or B-girls have it. They're like, I'm going to jump into practice and freestyle and try to get my flares up. That's not the way it works. You got to get that work in. Yeah. Me and Hat Solo, we had a training called the 100. So after we were done with the training, after we were done with the practice, we started doing the 100. So basically taking 50 reps one direction, another 50 for the other, getting 100 done. So it was like flares, 100 flares after we are actually trashed from the practice. That's when we start drilling. And then, yeah, it takes reps, man. It takes discipline.
1,000%. And in my opinion, just watching it takes 10 years to make a good, solid dancer, honestly. Because I learned the basics, and then I had to unlearn a bunch of stuff. Then I was getting power, and then because of focus, I was like, footwork is, I need to stop hating on footwork. So I started learning, and then I got injured, right? You know what I mean? So it is what it is, but you got to put that time in.
Yeah, it goes full circle. I shared the room in the Beat Writers with Pax Prime, your homie, and when I see him rock, I'm like, I need to learn how to rock, and he explained me the basics of that too. So it's funny how it all goes in circles, and he always comes back to New York at some level.
Happy birthday to Pax Prime. His birthday was on August 3rd.
Hey, happy birthday, Pax. Hope to catch you real soon. That's pretty much all we had for today. So let's keep on working, man. Let's get the dojo to another level with your help. And as far as the whole breaking community, this weekend is the weekend. Can't wait for the whole thing and see how it turns out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Hope to see you real soon in Finland or in New York. Who knows? We'll stay in touch.
All right.
Peace. Later. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Great talk with BBoy Brisk, Lavall, and everybody tuning in. Head out to BBoyDojo.com. Get a free course over there. Train on some footwork and a bunch of other things as well. So head out to the site right now and do not miss the live streams on Friday and Saturday with the Olympics. Tune in for no more episodes. Thank you for your time. Peace, peace.